the city of Veridia was shrouded in a perpetual twilight, a chilling testament to the nightmare plague. Nightmares weren't just dreams here, they were tangible entities, monstrous manifestations that haunted those who slept. Elara, a young woman with haunted eyes and a resilient spirit, knew this better than most. Her nightmares were particularly vicious, twisted creations of shadow and bone that lingered long after dawn. This morning it was a grotesque spider, its legs like razors, its body a pulsating mass of corrupted nightmares. It scuttled across her floor, leaving a trail of chilling whispers. She learned to fight back, to confront the creatures that emerged from her sleep. She carried a silver dagger, blessed by the city's last surviving nightmare weaver, a weapon that seemed to burn away the shadow flesh of her night terrors. But the city was losing hope. The nightmare plague was spreading, the horrifying creatures becoming stronger, more resilient. The city's defenses, once formidable, were crumbling under the relentless assault. The once bright spires of Veridia were now darkened, choked by the ever-growing shadows. One night, Elara dreamt of a colossal beast, its eyes like burning coals, its breath a chilling wind. When she awoke, it stood at the foot of her bed, its shadow stretching across her room, swallowing the light. She lunged at it with her dagger, but it merely hissed and swiped at her, claws tearing through her nightgown. The pain was sharp, piercing, a cruel reminder of the very real nature of her nightmares. She fought with desperate ferocity, her heart pounding like a drum. The creature roared, a sound that resonated deep within her bones. She managed to inflict a wound, a searing cut across its monstrous hide, but at a great cost. She felt a weakness creep into her limbs, the shadows of exhaustion enveloping her. Was this the end? Would Veridia fall to the relentless nightmares? Could she possibly save her city? She stumbled back, the monster bearing down on her, its maw opening in a silent scream. But then a faint light appeared. A woman cloaked in shimmering moonlight materialized beside her, her eyes holding the wisdom of ages. This was Lyra, the last of the Nightmare Weavers, a legendary figure whispered about in hushed tones. Lyra's presence instilled a renewed courage in Elara. Lyra raised her hands, a silver light emanating from her palms, weaving a protective shield against the monstrous creation. The beast recoiled, its form flickering and wavering under Lyra's power. "The nightmares feed on fear," Lyra whispered, her voice as soft as the falling snow. "Confront your deepest fears, Elara, and you will break their hold." Lyra's words resonated deeply, giving Elara strength she didn't know she possessed. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Elara, guided by Lyra, embarked on a perilous journey into the heart of the nightmare realm, a place where reality and dreams bled together. They faced countless horrors, grotesque beasts, and twisted landscapes born from the darkest recesses of the human mind. Each battle tested Elara's courage, pushing her to the very brink of despair, but she persevered. She learned to control her fears, to transform her nightmares into a source of strength. With each victory, she grew stronger, her resolve hardening like steel. Her silver dagger, imbued with Lyra's ancient magic, became a beacon of hope in the encroaching darkness. She understood now, the nightmares weren't merely monsters, but reflections of the city's collective fears, anxieties, and forgotten traumas. Finally, they reached the source of the nightmare plague, a monstrous entity of pure fear residing in a desolate wasteland. The battle was fierce, a clash between light and shadow, hope and despair. Elara, wielding her dagger with the precision of a seasoned warrior, fought with a renewed determination. She was not merely fighting for her city, but for her own soul. The monstrous entity roared, its form shifting and changing, but Elara stood firm, her heart filled with unwavering resolve. With a final, desperate lunge, she struck the entity at its core. A wave of pure light erupted, washing over the wasteland, purging the darkness. The nightmare creatures disintegrated, their forms dissolving into harmless dust. Silence descended, heavy and profound. But this silence was different, it was the silence of peace. The nightmare plague was over. Veridia was free. The city slowly began to heal, its light returning, brighter than ever before. Elara, hailed as a hero, finally found peace, the shadows of her past replaced by a radiant dawn. The world is safe, but the whispers from the void remain, a constant reminder of the fragility of the human spirit and the strength found in confronting one's darkest fears. The city slept soundly that night, finally free from the horrors of the nightmare plague.